Alright, so welcome back guys. We're going to be working on the Honda CT110 engine today. I've hit a bit of a wall on the other side. I can't seem to get my rotor puller, this little bad boy, to fit in properly, to pull off the flywheel. And anyway, I have two different engine cases which I'm going to be putting in to the bike. So I'm going to have to go ahead and take all of this apart anyway. So I've turned it over to the clutch side and we're going to be going through this today. Now before I start, I just wanted to show you guys how I took this little bit off. This was pretty easy. There was just one 12mm bolt that sat on top of this little seal over here, and that over there, it has a very important little O-ring, so make sure that you don't miss that O-ring over there, and you're good to go. When I take my things apart, I like to keep all of my screws in the actual compartment, and then I just take this straight on up like so. And I mean, look at the inside of my engine. It is exactly why it is that I need to clean everything out from the inside of this, because it just looks horrible. Now that I have this off, I can see both gaskets. I can see that gasket, and I've actually saved the other gasket, which is this one over here for the left side. And I'm going to be getting a look at the center gasket today, and then I'll be ordering those and the link will come along. So what we're going to be doing next, guys, is we're going to be removing the springs over here. Of course, I've got to remove this little bolty off over there. That just pops right off. That's your gear selector arm. So I'm going to go ahead and take that all off. All this just comes off. You're going to go ahead and pop these springs out. Once you pop the springs out, this whole compartment can come off and you'll be able to see the oil pump. I believe that's the oil pump, which is this little bad boy over here. Now it looks like it's pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. It looks like it's all going to come off in one go, so I'm quite happy about that. And one thing that I noticed, some more internal engine damage. Have a look at that. This is what happens when you over tighten your bolts, guys. You see this is just one of the bolts from the stands on the bottom, and you can see that's what it's supposed to look like. It's not supposed to have a hole in it, so that also would have caused an engine leak. And here I can actually, there's the part. There we go, there's the part right there. So have a look at that. That's not stuff that you want going around the inside of your engine. Hopefully it hasn't done any other damage. I think the Honda is pretty strong on the inside, so I'm hoping for the best, and I'll let you know how it goes. Welcome back, guys. I'm here working on the engine again, carrying on now after having to order a special part for this little bolt. Why they couldn't just use a normal bolt, I have no idea, but that's what they used, and that's what you have to get in order to take it off. It's called a 16mm lock nut wrench socket, and it comes with either the bar attachment, or this one also comes with a 1/4 inch attachment, excuse me, 1/2 inch attachment over here. Simply fits into this part over here. It's a normal thread, so that means it turns left in order for you to remove it, and then your whole clutch assembly just comes right off of this bolt right over here. Simple as that. There we go. It all came off in one shot. There we go. And there it is. The part that you heard falling off right there was the lock nut wrench. The lock nut. You're supposed to bend that part up in order to fit into this so that it doesn't thread loose. So we'll get to that part when we fix it back up. That threads onto this right over here, simple as that. And now the next one, which we're going to have to go through and get, I hope to God that I don't need another special tool, is for this one over here. So we'll see if we can get that off. That just looks like a normal spline, as this one does over here. It looks like I just need to remove this pin right over here, and then this will all come off, and then this side of the engine's completely off. In the meantime, I also had a bit of a struggle with some of the screws. These screws is what you see over here. I actually had to drill two of them out. The one that was sitting over here that I couldn't reach, I had to drill it out completely because it got stripped. And then the other one I had to drill out, but wasn't so successful, so I ended up having to cut the engine casing away. Of course, I'm not going to use my engine casing again after this, so it really doesn't matter that I cut that away. I'm just going to chisel that out and put all the parts into the new casing. That is the entire purpose of this exercise that we're doing right here. Alright, well, let me carry on. I've already pre-loosened these screws over here, so I'm going to carry on and I'll let you know how the rest of the engine comes apart. And then that bit comes off. This is what this looks like now. Now we're going to be looking over here at the kickstarter drum and also this little housing unit over here. According to this, there's a couple of things that I need to do. So I'm just taking a video right here to show how everything looks before I take it out, so I know what it looks like when I put it back in. This looks like it just slides out, but of course I've got to drop this down in order to get that out, and in order to drop that down and get that out, I'm going to have to get this out, I believe. So let's see how that goes. Getting things apart today, that's great. 10mm, just remove that right over there, and then that removes your little pivot arm over here. Note that your pivot arm has a spring inside of it which locks inside of the casing right there, and this little bit over here goes over this little bit over here. So this needs to go back in there and push that all the way down, so it's constantly being pushed up into this bit. Again, right now I don't even know what that does, but it does something. So that's what we need to note, is how to put it back in, and how to get it all out. So there we go. Okay, it doesn't even go into the casing, it just sits right there. That way around, locks straight down like so, and that spring loads your spring into the arm just like this. There we go. So that's what we're looking at. Okay, great. Let's continue. Pop this next arm down, and I went straight ahead and I removed this right over here. That arm over there goes in and locks in under that. As you can see, I now have a hole all the way through my engine over there, which is this arm over here. Look at all the dirt that I'm getting off my bike though, guys. I mean, this is all, that's gravel, that's not even rust. That's like mud and gud and fucking crap. So excuse the swearing, sorry about that, guys. If there's any young viewers watching, I'll try and mute that out. I now need to go ahead and get the rest of it apart. I believe the only thing left on the side of the engine is the oil pump. After that, I split the casing. All of this comes out from the internal. Oh no, wait, this does not. This comes out next. Then does the oil pump, and then this side of the engine is completely disassembled. So then we're ready to go on the transplant on the other side. So I showed you guys previously, this is what was holding the two casings together. So you have these screws that go all the way around the bike. And then you also have this engine casing screw, which is what you need to release. So I'm going to need to get that out as well. But first I'm going to go ahead and take this out, and then I'll see if I can get that off today as well. Looking at this one right over here, and oh, there we go, that's just a seal. So I just popped that one out to have a look. I don't think I even need to do this to remove the part of the engine, because it just would have stayed right in there. That's the oil pump, so I'm just doing this for the purpose of showing you guys what it looks like inside. This is the oil pump. As so, it has an outer rotor, which is this bad boy over here. It has an inner rotor like so over here, and it sits just right in there. It actually is like off center, it doesn't fit in completely, it fits just like that. See, it has a couple of, it looks like it has a gap, and it sort of sits like that. Then this little oh, there goes the bolt. This little flat side over here goes into your cam chain over here, and that essentially, as the engine turns over and the cam turns over, it turns the oil over and gives it proper lubrication. So there's that little hole over there, has a little flat that goes in over there, and that is your oil pump right over there. It's a cam driven oil pump, and that's what your inner sprocket looks like. So I've got those as spare parts by the looks of it. There we go. Easy bolts that you just remove that bolt over there, so it just pops right off. Simple as that. I'm going to leave all my parts over here, come clean them up tomorrow. I've now also loosened this nut up, and I think that's what gets my engine casing to split up. So I'm going to stop there, because I reckon I actually need to remove my flywheel before I can split the casing. Otherwise the engine parts are all going to be free. So I'm going to stop and do that until I get my my rotor puller, which hopefully I'll be able to get soon. So the video will continue then. Alright guys, see you then. Alright, so I was about to give up and wait for that tool to come next week or whatever for the rotor puller, when I realized that I could probably take the engine apart and put the new casing right on top of this one and save myself disassembling all of this and then reassembling all of it. The only thing that I might want to do while I've got it open is clean it up. So that's actually what I'm going to do. I didn't have to remove the piston at all, so that's great. And the case came apart just as I showed you guys. The only thing that didn't come out is this little bolty over here, and I think that's just because mine's actually just stuck, so I'm just going to have to hammer it through. As soon as I took that nut out, which was this one over here, which I showed you guys, this little nut right there, I was able to split this engine casing again with quite a lot of force. So what I actually did was this little oil whatever this is over here, I took a hammer to that, and it's made out of steel by the looks of it instead of the aluminium which the casing's made out of, which is very soft. So I was able to hammer this without damaging it course not hammering it very hard, and that gave me enough to be able to separate the casings. And then of course I took a screwdriver straight over there, jammed it in between the two casings and wedged it up. Now remember guys, we're going to have to replace these gaskets over here, and my next video, which is going to follow right after this one, is the importance of gaskets, because we've got several gaskets that we use. There's a thrust gaskets, and then there's also just your regular gaskets, and then you get all sorts of different seals. So I'm going to go ahead and run that video for you guys next. Yeah, there we go. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can get this little stem out of over here. I'm just going to hammer it straight out from this side. Just push it straight out. I believe it comes out that way. I'll just stop myself wherever I was and a little insert. Before you go ahead and hammer this little shaft out from the other side, there is a spring over here that needs to be detached. It goes straight through the engine right over there and hooks in. So you need to bring that forward, detach that spring, and then you'll be able to remove that entire stem and you're ready to go. Place that back into its position over there, and then slowly and methodically take out each one of these pieces and simply clean them off and then replace them back into the casing. And once I've done that, I'm then going to go ahead and take this casing, slot it directly on top of this one over here, turn the engine over once being all put back together, and when I receive my rotor puller, what I'm going to do is on the other side where the rotor puller is needed, I'm going to take it apart, do exactly the same on that side. Instead of disassembling everything and then reassembling into the new engine, I think that is a quicker and easier way to get into my new casing. Alright, so there we go guys, that's the end of the splitting the engine casing today and how to open it all up and what it all looks like for you. I believe what we're looking at over here guys is conrod. We're looking at our crank over here. This is our main crank bearing. We're looking at our transmission over here. There's two different parts of your transmission. There's your gear selector drum over there, and this is the kick start spindle. So a pretty simple engine inside, all in all. I'm pretty happy with the fact that it is so simple. I don't really feel like even myself with very little mechanical knowledge, someone like that is going to be able to mess this up. So that's excellent. So I hope it's inspiring you guys to do the same, as a lot of you guys have been messaging me and saying so. So I'm very happy that I've been able to do that for you guys. I hope that you guys continue to like, comment and share on my videos. It really does keep me motivated to keep going, and I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. So stick with us over here guys, and I'll show you soon how I'm going to replace. I'm not going to show you how I clean it all. It's literally just wiping the dirt off and such like that. That's pretty boring. Look out for my next video, which is going to be gaskets and seals, the importance of those. And then after that is going to be the engine testing, and shim setting and reassembly. That's coming soon. Like, share, comment guys. Thank you very much. Have a good day. If I haven't shown you something that you'd like to see, please do let me know, and I will be happy to be able to show you all of that. Cheers guys, have a good day.